welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something pretty cool, virtual assistants.
Oh, yeah.
But not just using them.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about building a whole business around virtual assistants.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
So our source for this deep dive is this blog post.
Okay.
And the title is a little bit of a mouthful because it's in Russian.
Okay.
It's Emohaskia. Emohaskia.
Wow.
Which translates to earning on virtual assistants, creation and sale.
Catchy.
And it's from this Russian blog, Kalashi.
Okay.
And honestly, it's like packed with information for anyone who wants to like get into this whole virtual assistant world.
I mean, virtual assistants are already like everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the new angle?
Well, that's what I love about this blog post.
Okay.
It's not just assuming you're like already a tech genius.
Right.
It's like laying it all out.
Yeah.
In a way that like anyone can understand.
Oh.
Yeah. So, okay. When most people hear virtual assistant, they think Siri or Alexa.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the voice in your phone or in your smart speaker.
Yeah. But this blog post dives way deeper.
Okay.
It's like getting into like what virtual assistants actually are, you know?
Yeah, like under the hood.
Exactly. So essentially, they're software agents powered by AI, designed to do all kinds of tasks and basically just like make our lives easier.
Yeah, we all need that, right?
Who doesn't?
Less to do, more time for fun stuff.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The exciting part is like what they can actually do.
Oh, I see.
You know,
yeah.
We're not just talking about like setting reminders or like playing music.
Yeah.
This blog post talks about everything from automating tasks to managing like full-on financial portfolios.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's like,
so like a whole team of digital assistants, each with their own specialty.
Yes.
That's a cool way to put it.
It's like having this army of little digital helpers.
I like it.
Right?
I like it a lot.
And that's where like the business opportunity comes in.
Okay, so how do we tap into that?
Well, they give some great examples in the post.
Like what?
Like chatbots.
Okay.
They can handle customer service for you. Or robo-advisors that can give financial advice.
Oh, wow.
Tailored to like specific needs.
Yeah, I could use one of those.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
They actually mentioned a few examples in the post.
Oh, cool. Which ones?
So for the voice assistants, you know, like the ones we were talking about.
Right. Siri and Alexa.
They mentioned those, but also Google Assistant.
Yeah.
And then for chatbots, they mentioned Dialogflow and ChatFuel.
Interesting.
And for robo-advisors, they mentioned Betterment and Wealthfront.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah, so it really shows you like how diverse this whole landscape is.
Yeah, you don't have to build like the next Alexa to be successful, right?
Exactly.
There's room for everyone.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to create like the next Siri.
Right.
You can build a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
For like a really specific audience.
Okay.
With really specific needs.
And that's where the money is.
And that's where the magic happens.
And magic, yeah.
So let's say you have this brilliant idea. For a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
Where do you even start?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
It is.
You've got this great idea, but where do you go from there?
Yeah, how do you actually build the thing?
Well, the blog post highlights two really important steps.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, you got to figure out your target audience.
Okay, makes sense.
Like, who are you building this for?
Yeah.
What are their pain points? What problems are they trying to solve?
Right. It's like any business.
Exactly.
You need to know who you're serving.
You got it.
Before you offer them anything.
That's step one.
Okay, step one, done.
Now, step two is choosing the right platform.
Okay, so like the tools you're going to use to build it.
Exactly. Are you going to use an existing platform or build it from scratch? You know, are you comfortable coding or are you going to need a no-code solution?
No-code solution.
Yeah. There are platforms out there that let you build without writing any code.
It's amazing.
It is pretty cool.
So like anyone can build a virtual assistant now.
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Yeah.
The post really stresses that you got to match the platform to your specific needs and skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still need a solid plan.
Right.
They actually have this great quote in the blog post.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
It says, success of the virtual assistant directly depends on understanding the needs of the audience and the correct choice of a platform for its creation.
So it's not just about like throwing some code together and hoping to the best.
Nope.
You need a vision. You need a plan.
You need a strategy.
Okay, so you've got the idea.
Right.
You've got the plan.
Yeah.
Now the fun part.
The fun part.
Figuring out how to actually make money.
Ah, yes, the monetization.
Let's talk money.
Let's do it.
How do you actually monetize a virtual assistant?
Well, there are a few different ways. The blog post lays out a couple different models you could use.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
One that's pretty popular is the subscription model, especially for those virtual assistants that give you like ongoing value.
Okay, so like something you use every day?
Exactly, like a daily task manager or, maybe a personalized fitness coach.
Oh, that's a good example.
Yeah, so basically users pay a recurring fee
Okay.
to access the features of the assistant.
Makes sense.
It's a good way to build up a solid customer base.
Yeah, and have that like consistent income coming in.
Exactly, recurring revenue.
I like it.
They also talk about selling licenses
Okay.
for ready-made solutions.
So instead of paying every month,
Right?
you just buy it once and it's yours.
Exactly, a one-time license.
Okay.
And that can be pretty lucrative.
Yeah, I bet, especially if you've built something super specialized.
Yeah, like you said earlier, something for a niche market.
Exactly. Like, imagine a virtual assistant just for real estate agents.
Oh, yeah.
Or like freelance writers.
They would pay good money for that.
Right.
Because it's tailored to their specific needs.
Okay, so we've got subscriptions, we've got licenses.
Yep.
What else?
Well, beyond those, the blog post mentions a few other things like advertising.
Oh, yeah, putting ads in your virtual assistant.
You could even integrate with other services.
Okay.
Or offer consulting.
Oh, so like helping other businesses build their own virtual assistants.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of different ways to actually make money from this.
Yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
You got to get creative.
You got it. And most importantly, you got to understand your audience.
Right.
Like you were saying before.
Provide value.
Solve a problem.
Make it user-friendly.
Exactly. Make it something people actually want to use.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential.
Right.
We've talked about how to make money.
Uh-huh.
Now, what about the future?
The future of virtual assistants.
Yeah, where's this all going?
Well, this field is constantly changing.
I mean, it feels like every day there's something new.
It really does.
A new AI breakthrough or a new application.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
So what does the blog post say about the future?
Well, they highlight a few key trends.
Okay.
One of the big ones is natural language processing.
So like virtual assistants are getting better at understanding us?
Exactly, and responding in a way that feels more human.
That's pretty cool.
It is, and it's opening up so many possibilities.
Like what?
Well, think about it. We're also seeing a trend towards multi-channel integration.
Multi-channel integration.
So your virtual assistant won't just be on your phone.
Oh, I see.
It'll be on your computer, your car, your smart home devices.
So like a seamless experience across all your devices.
Exactly. That's the idea.
I like it.
And then there's the rise of personalized assistants.
Okay, so like instead of a generic one, you'll have one that's tailored to you.
Exactly. It'll know your schedule, your habits, your goals.
Wow, that's kind of scary.
It is a little bit, but it's also really exciting.
Yeah, I guess it could be really helpful.
Imagine an assistant that anticipates your needs before you even ask.
Now that's impressive.
Right. And this all ties into another major trend, voice control.
Oh, yeah.
As virtual assistants get smarter, we're going to be using our voices more and more.
So less typing, more talking.
Exactly. The blog post had a really good quote about this.
Okay, what did it say?
The future of virtual assistants is the future of a more personalized, contextual, and intuitive interaction between man and technology.
Wow, that's deep.
Right. It's like science fiction becoming reality.
Okay, so before we wrap up,
I
want to leave our listeners with a question to think about.
Okay, fire away.
If you could create any virtual assistant, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What problem would it solve and who would it help?
Yeah, I think our listeners should really ponder that one.
It's something to think about as we move into part 3.
Part 3 coming up.
Where we'll look at some real-world examples of successful virtual assistants.
Stay tuned, folks.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential. We've talked about making money. And we've even peeked into the future of virtual assistants.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. But now let's bring it all to life, you know?
Yeah, let's get concrete.
With some real-world examples.
That's where it gets really interesting.
So what are some of the success stories out there?
Well, the blog post actually mentions quite a few.
Okay, give us the highlights.
What really stood out to you?
Yeah, what are the big ones?
Well, it's hard to ignore the impact of Alexa.
Amazon's Alexa.
Yeah, I mean, it's gone from a novelty to a household name.
It really has.
Everywhere.
And people are using it for everything.
From controlling their smart homes to ordering groceries online.
I mean, I think most people know about Alexa by now.
Yeah, for sure.
But what's really impressive is how Amazon made it so user-friendly.
Right.
It's not just a tech gadget anymore.
It's become part of the family for some people.
That's a good point. And it really highlights what the blog post was saying about user experience design.
Yeah, they stress that a lot.
They did, because a successful virtual assistant isn't just about the technology.
It's about the experience.
It's got to feel natural and intuitive and even enjoyable to use.
Exactly. You want to make people's lives easier, not more complicated.
Okay, so Alexa's a big one. What else?
Well, they also mention Google Assistant.
Oh, yeah, that one's everywhere, too.
It's on phones, smart speakers, even cars.
It's true. And it's powered by Google's massive knowledge graph and AI.
So it can access a ton of information and do all sorts of things.
Like manage your tasks, control your devices, even answer your questions.
Just with your voice.
It's pretty amazing how these assistants are becoming so integrated into our lives.
Yeah, it's like they're always there ready to help.
Well, of course, we can't forget about Siri.
Apple's own voice assistant.
Maybe not as versatile as Alexa or Google Assistant, but still pretty popular.
Especially among Apple users.
Yeah, it's like the OG face assistant.
It was one of the first, and it paved the way for everything that came after.
So we've got the big players, but what about some more specialized applications?
Oh, there are tons of those popping up all the time.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, in healthcare, for instance.
Okay.
Virtual assistants are helping patients manage medications, schedule appointments, and even track their symptoms.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is, and it could make a huge difference in healthcare accessibility.
And in education.
Oh, yeah. Virtual assistants are being used for tutoring, homework help, and even grading.
It's amazing how these assistants can be used in so many different fields.
And it's not just about replacing human jobs.
Right.
It's about creating new opportunities and changing the way we work.
So what's the main takeaway here?
I think the blog post said it best.
Okay, hit us with it.
The future of virtual assistants is all about creating a more personalized, contextual, and intuitive interaction between humans and technology.
That's a mouthful.
It is, but it's also a powerful message.
It is, and it's happening right now.
All around us.
It's exciting, it's challenging, and it's full of possibilities.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of virtual assistants.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you learned something new.
And maybe even got inspired.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to create the next big virtual assistant.
The future is yours, folks.
See you next time on The Deep Dive.